Okay, so this is part two. Part two is actually going to be split into two parts, but in one video. One is going to be the breakdown of the demo track, and then the other part is going to be us making a sequence, as we've heard in some of the sounds, or at least you're going to hear some of these sounds in this track. Specifically, the second drop. It's that weird little switch up. This is one of those situations where, or not even situations, but basically the point that I was making in the first video, where basically saying that Faceplant is a DAW disguised as a plugin. So let's just jump straight into the drop because we kind of know what's going on here. Let's start with the drums. Now, what I mentioned about the Doppler effect, they're kind of just sounds that never repeat. As you can see here, I bounce them out because I just wanted some type of some form of consistency. And you hear it in the intro, obviously in context. So, I just remembered there is actually a patch in here. If you can hear it in the background, it sounds like a dude just saying, yeah. But that's not a dude. That is Faceplant. That is an oscillator. I don't know what. Oh, yeah, it's a wavetable, I guess this is. There we go. Anything is possible. Anyways, let's start with the drums. First, I want to talk about sequencers and just what this plugin turns into when you view it in that light. Because yes, it is a sequencer. It is whatever you want it to be. And how that works. Obviously, the first thing we think about when you think of sequencers is gates, triggers, and of course, if I press one button, is gonna do that. Now, how would you go about making that? So first, you need something to trigger over and over. And one way to do this is with an LFO. Now, one really cool thing about Faceplant's envelope is that it actually does have a trigger input. So with that logic, if you send in an LFO that goes from 0 to 100, 0 to 100, the 100 is basically a trigger. And you repeat that process over and over again, you get this. So that's kind of the drums right now. I'm gonna get to the second part in a second, but let's go over the bass. Now the bass, I'm pretty sure was just a random bass that I just made quick. I don't even know if I saved it. No, I didn't. Is there anything in here? No, this is all just Faceplant. Let's just see what's actually going on. We have one group. Yeah, we got one group going. Analog set to sine. We got really severe bandpass. And got a little LFO that just rises up. Hard clip. That's insane. So let's see how we got to that chonker. First of all, I imagine it's just a series of band passes, really. So let's kind of switch everything off, starting with the distortion. Interesting. Am I automating this? No. Well, that's not really doing anything. Let's go into the comb filter. This is definitely adding a lot of the sort of width and the movement. Yeah, it's sort of, this is kind of following the same pattern. This is controlling two things, I imagine. The bandpass as well. Yeah, inside of the group. It's very simple shit. The snap, oh, this is where everything is happening. So, as you can see here, there is a lot of distortion and, oh, it looks like we did some upwards compression on the low end. So we are basically doing some parallel processing, and the first parallel is in the low mids. It's adding the little sort of tiny bit of squelch, I guess, just like texture, and then that's definitely adding, yeah. And then I imagine some OTT after that, or not. I'm pretty sure that comes with, yeah, that comes with the factory library. And let's see what it sounds like. What the hell? Yeah, it's not even over the top. That's borderline just abrasive. That's so cool. Yeah. So I think all of these are just copies of the same sound, just different parts of the filter and the bandpass. And then what else is in here? This is in the bank. Dr. Subdrop. Yeah. Damn, dude. Chunky. And then what do we have here? Second bit. That is Wamper's Revenge. That is also part of the patches. Adam. Yeah. So. Now, my favorite part. So, before I get to the actual loop, I'm just gonna cover the bass, the little, nope. That is also part of it. That's the Reese's Puffs. Yeah, again, mad simple. Where's that coming from? Yeah, it's all, yeah, there's some fuse. Now, the magic, the sequencer, that you're hearing, it is bounce, sure. But if you're wondering where the bounce is coming from, it's coming from one single patch. And that's this guy. One note bass, or one note song at least. So, like I said, when you kind of look at this as a sequencer, it's a completely different DAW, and we're gonna create that. I would kind of show you how I got here, but I think it would be a lot more fun if we did it ourselves for the last 10 minutes of this video, which is the part 2. 10 minutes. There we go. Now start this from scratch, just so you guys can get an idea of how this works. So first thing you want to do, ooh, should I have done that? Oh yeah, there we go. That's fine. We're just gonna start with a blank slate. Now, the first thing, let's actually just make a full drum loop. Yeah. So let's start with our kick here. Now, of course, this needs to be triggered, right? But obviously, all of that was happening with one note. So you want to figure out how to do it with one note. Now, that is going to be with the help of our LFO. And we're going to treat our LFO like a gate. And I'll explain in a second. I think I did. Did I already do that? So let's just straight to sine. Nice. All right. So first thing we do is create our envelope. And then we're going to create an LFO. And then we're going to drop our level all the way down, because we don't want to be the ones to tell when the kick comes in. That's the envelope's job. But how's the envelope going to do it? The LFO. 0 is no trigger. 1 is trigger. And how you would do that is sending the LFO into the trigger module, the sort of trigger of the envelope. And once you do that, as you can see, if we drop the sustain all the way down, you can see once it hits this point, it just hits. So we're not hearing anything because we didn't send that to the level. There we go. Now we have our sequence, I guess, but let's actually have a groove with this. So let's do 16 bars, keep it simple, maybe, yeah. Let's create a magnet. I want to slow that down. Maybe get a okay, hold on, start from the beginning. All right, cool. We have our kick right here. Let's create a group real quick. Now, obviously, it doesn't really sound like a kick because there's no kick modulation. You know, what we could just do is we're gonna create another trigger. Now, this one is gonna be a lot faster, and we're gonna send that to the analog. We would do master pitch, but since we're creating a sequence, we want each instrument to have its own independent pitch. So you're gonna send this by 24, and how you get that is just right click. So is that it? Yeah. All right, we don't need this anymore. Maybe there we go. All right. You know what I'm gonna do instead is have an LFO instead. Who's getting triggered by that? Let me go. I'm gonna send this to the LFO because we can just treat the LFO like an actual trigger. Could have used curves, but this is fine because I want to create somewhat weird. I don't know. I've used kick 2 enough to it's just ruined the way that I see kicks. But yeah, ideally you kind of want it to be something like this, I think. And then let's make this a little smaller. Then we're gonna send this to the pitch. There we go. And then we're gonna make this just not loop. Cool. Distort. Now let's mess with the envelope a little bit. And then maybe not as much. Cool. We have our kick. Now let's create our snare just from that. Except this time. Oh! Undo. Kick. Okay, that kick took 5 minutes, but because we've already set up most of this, speed should half itself like more. So this is gonna go. Okay. Okay, cool. Maybe what we could do is have another one here to the semitones. And then we're just gonna get like a white noise to give it that top layer. Oh my, sorry. Okay, let us get this here as well. And then stereo, or as a matter of fact, no, yeah, this is fine. Yeah. And then we can maybe delay it just a little bit so it doesn't land exactly. Let's maybe not do that. You know what? No. Let's create oh, can I put this after and then another out? Cool. Cool. Then I can just get this. Let's see. Okay. Maybe not there. We're gonna have another independent envelope for this. There we go. There we go. Cool. 18. All right. Now we're just gonna make a copy of this noise, or just create a new group, and then get your noise in here, get a filter, create your hats basically, and then let's close this. Gonna create another group because you know you want to be able to see where all the modulation's coming from, but you're seeing you get what's going on, right? It's just like a set of envelopes that are basically the triggers or the envelopes of the sounds that we're working with, and then those are triggering. Well, and then you have the LFOs. Well, the envelope is being triggered by the LFO, which acts as a gate. That envelope gets sent to the level of the instrument that you're sending it to. I know there's a way better way for me to explain that. I apologize. I'm just in like speed run mode. I don't know why I'm doing this, but yeah, it's fun. I kind of like this. So we're gonna send this, and then send this guy here, and then we have our out. Maybe set that to 32. All right. I don't like that. You know, but you get the point here. And most of it really is post-processing. That's where a lot of the magic happens, I guess. And you know, here we can send the kick to lane 1. We can send the snare to lane 2 alongside the hat, I guess. Um, so you know what I would do here is yeah, go there. Maybe we can add a little bit of a tail. Okay, take me to that envelope. Let's see, where is it at? Snare, we want to shorten that even more. And then just get like a 3-band EQ. And then send that to lane 3. Hat, close hat. And then quick little open hat as well. A little bit of flavor, or just, you know, symbols, so to speak. Yeah, so this guy is just gonna be a lot longer, and then it's gonna have a lot more of a slower rate, or just something a lot more simple than this. Sync, set it to 8, I guess. Yeah. Not that guy, but this guy instead. Boom. And I'm just gonna send him here. You know, we can just send this to lane 3. Send all the symbols to lane 3, because that way we can just sort of EQ that separately, I guess. I'm just gonna do a little quick EQ. Oh no, you know what? No. No, we're gonna keep him. Gonna keep them in lane 2 as well. Cause I'm gonna add some of these snap heap effects that come with the bank. One of them being the stomp box cleaner, which is kind of my emulation of a decapitator, and magnetic is just a way for me to color my sounds, but this is just gonna give it so much character. A little too much. But what's really cool about this is basically I'm using this modulator called remap, and here on the remap there is clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 remaps, and if you look where these are all going, they all correlate with the styles. So you can essentially use the remap function as a switch to change between different effects. So if you see, once I hover over the style and I just turn the dial, you can see some of the mixes are closing, some are opening, closing, opening. And there they are. These are all the styles, different types of distortion. So if I scroll through all of them, you can hear them clearly. Now, obviously, that's a little bit of a bright open hat. So, when I maybe tone. But that's a pretty six sequence for like what, 10 minutes? No, that was 15. But from here, I would just kind of tweak and fine tune exactly what I'm looking for. You know, after obviously like kind of getting all that character. I want to sort of do some multi-band transient shaping. Shout out to ST4B, William Light, for inspiring this one. Yeah. But here I would absolutely encourage throwing in the strangest effects and then just recording what you get after that. And that would be, you know, this one plonked out and bubbly This is kind of good for loops because it just turns all your drums into like a hyper pop fever dream. You know, and that's kind of your loop right there. And you know, you can just rearrange these and you get completely different sounds. Let's see. Whoa. And then we can even change the style again. You want to limit it and get your little tape stop. There's your sequence. Why don't you have Kilohearts stuff yet, dude? Come on. Anyways, this was really fun.